Hey, it's Ranger Russ back at the Meggs Point Nature Center. I'm in the parking lot today. I want to say hello to all of our friends that have been following our programs and tell everyone that Connecticut state parks are open. You can come and visit them. I do want to remind you, though, that you have to maintain your social distance. If you're not able to, then you should be wearing a mask. So, there are lots of trails, lots of fresh air here at all of our Connecticut state parks. You can visit Fort Griswold, you can visit Topsmead, you can visit Devil's Hop Yard, and if you've never been to any of those places or want to know more about them, I've done videos at those parks, so you can go to meggspointnaturecenter.org and see the videos that we've done in the past, and there are lots of parks included in the videos with wildlife and other things. So please continue to follow us and like us, and you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do have a few videos on YouTube that we do not have on the website or on Facebook, so you can go to YouTube as well. All right, why am I out in a parking lot with these cones behind me? We are talking today about a killdeer, and that is a bird. It's in the plover family, which is a small wading shorebird, and there's one nesting right behind me. You can see just to the side of the cone. There's 3 cones, the middle cone just to my left. It'll probably be your right on there. Everything's reversed though, so I'm having a hard time. There is a killdeer nesting there. Now, I'm going to put this sign out in a minute. We put these signs out for these birds. We put them out for other birds as well. If you see a sign like this, you need to stay away. All right? These birds, if you scare them off of their nest, that is making the eggs susceptible to weather. It's making them susceptible to predators. And you may scare the adult to the point that it doesn't come back. That doesn't happen very often. The bird's parental instinct is going to keep it on the nest, keep it raising its young, but if you scare it too much, it's not going to come back. It's going to pick another nesting place and move to that place. So let's talk about the killdeer. They only nest once, maybe twice a year. If they lose their nest early, they will build another nest and try again. Because they nest right on the rock. So you can see there's a gravel pathway there. They might nest out in dirt. We had them over in our garden. There's just some wood chips there. It moves the wood chips aside and nests right there. The eggs look like rocks. Now in a minute I'm going to go over to put this sign over, and I'm going to bring you guys with me, and we'll see how she reacts. She may leave the nest and you get to see the eggs. She'll probably stay there and do a little threat behavior. But this bird is really special. Now, they don't live very long. Actually, it is a long time for a shore wading bird. The most they could live is like 11 years, but typically it's going to be 7 to 8 or 9 years is going to be closer to the average for these birds. They're not going to lay a lot of eggs, 4 to 8 eggs. Now, these are all averages, and again, in nature, it's really hard to say, but generally, the first time they nest, they don't do very well, not as many eggs. Then they're going to do a lot better, and then as they get older, the numbers are going to go down again. So it can vary a lot how many eggs they lay. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And say continue to put up. So Niantic has just come in, so you can continue to put up where you're messaging from. And if you have a question, there's a bit of a glare today. I'm going to try and read the questions as I go. So we're going to have a little bit of a hard time with the glare. There's Marlboro. You guys watch every day, don't you? All right, let's zoom in and see if we can get a good look at the killdeer. Turn this a little bit. All right, I'm hoping that that's in there. It's kind of hard for me to see. So the killdeer, it's a brown bird on the back. They have a white belly and a nice black rim across their chest. and a little sort of a black mark up across their eyes. A lot of times the black mark on the eye, if you guys have ever watched football players, they put black paint under their eyes. That's to take the glare away. And the birds have the same thing. That's a bit of a glare diffuser. Also, they are brown and multicolored on the back. That's their camouflage. A lot of times they're an irregular color on the back. You don't want a solid color. The irregular color breaks up the pattern and it makes them camouflage better. So right now, if she were on natural rocky gravelly area, she'd blend in a little bit better. She's on gray stone, crushed stone, so she kind of shows up because she's brown. Again, I want to say, if you see cones like this, please give them a wide berth. We have had people see the cones and drive right up to them to see what's in between them. We've had people go between the cones, and actually, unfortunately, the birds weren't able to survive that. But you really want to just give the cones a wide berth when you see them like that. Years ago, we started putting predator guards over the KillDeer nest. When she would make her nest, we would put sort of a mesh contraption over the top so that the predators couldn't get to her. The gulls, there are lots of predators on these. So possums, skunks, raccoons, fox, coyotes, gulls, birds of prey, crows, all will go and raid the nests. What we found though, when we put the predator guards out, very quickly all of the other animals began to recognize it, and the crows, we would watch them fly from one predator guard to the next, and they could get in. If you're making it so the plover can get in and out, a crow's about the same size, only a little bit larger, they could get in and out of the predator guards, and the crows were going to every single nest and eating the eggs. So we stopped putting the predator guards up. We felt like that was just marking the place for the crows, and the crows learned and adapted to find the birds where the predator guards were. So we use cones now because we put cones out all over the park for different reasons. They're always a cautious area, so it may be just to keep people away from, if we're digging a hole or an area where you're not supposed to drive. So the birds have not gotten used to the cones being the food source. So that's why you're not going to see predator guards over these. Also, they are eggs for about 28 days, 24 to 28 days. Once the eggs hatch, the cutest little things come out of the eggs, little tiny killdeer. They look like tiny puffballs, okay? It's way too zoomed in, so I can't show you. But they're very, very small. They look like a little puffball with legs, and they immediately begin to run all over the place. So if we tried to exclude, if we fenced off an area, and we've done this in the past as well, we'll fence off an area, those little birds will run around, but very quickly they run outside of the area that we fenced off. So we stopped doing that as well. Once they're hatched out, they run all over the place. They're really fast. The mother moves around with them, and they begin to feed. So these birds are listed as omnivores. And the only reason that they're listed as omnivores is because they do eat berries. For the most part, they like to eat crustaceans, small and gastropods, and other things that are found along the shore in wetland areas. That's their main place to get food. They will eat insects and things that they find out here in the field, but very quickly the mother is going to guide the babies over to wetlands, and they're going to start to look for those snails and baby crabs and other things that they can find in the mud. So that's 98% of their diet is going to be animals, but they are an omnivore because they do eat some berries. All right, again, if you have any questions, put them up. I will try and answer them as we go. And I think now we're going to move over, and I'm going to I'm going to put the sign up and we're going to see how she reacts. Now, this is something that I don't want anyone to do ever. If there is a bird on a nest, please leave it alone. I'm going to do this just to get the sign out there and to show you her reaction while I'm doing that. We actually had a sign out there, but the wind broke the sign off. So to do this, I'm going to flip the camera around. All right. Now, oh, did you see that? I'm going to zoom in because she's already reacting to me. So she's raised up a little bit. She knows now that her camouflage is not working. She's flared out her tail. Oh, she actually moved off of the nest. So I'm trying to get the post, and I think... All right, so she did. She moved off the nest. Let me show you. The eggs look just like stones. They are all the same size. There are 3 eggs there. And I want to show you her because she is doing a very common behavior for the KillDeer. That's her over there. The KillDeer do a wounded bird where they pretend like they have a broken wing and they flare their tail. All right, she's far away now, so I can't really see her. And the sign I brought out doesn't fit in to the cone. So I'm going to have to bring another sign. So they will pretend like their wing is broken. They pretend like they're an injured bird to try and lure you away. And she's doing it. I don't know if you guys can see it. She's laid flat down. Her tail is flared out. They've got a nice bright orange that they can flare out. And she'll drag her wing and make noise until you get a little further away. And then she'll do it again. Now I think the male has come in. There's a second one moving over near her. And they will both do this behavior. So yep, he's doing the behavior. So as I move away from the nest, they run a few feet. And then they will again feign an injury. So if I were a raccoon or a predator, I'd be sniffing around for a nest. But oh no, look, there's a wounded bird. I can follow that bird. Up, and now she's flying off. And I'm certain she returned to the nest. Okay? So the male is still behind me, pretending he's got his tail flared out, and he is pretending like he's wounded. Let's see, I don't know if you can see him. He's a little far away. Now I'm going to move a little closer. I should have brought my stabilizer out. I didn't think I'd be walking around this much. So you can see him. He's running now. Now he's flared again and down on the ground. And then he's running again. So now I'm really far away from the nest. I'm following this wounded bird that I want to eat. And the real food, the eggs, are safe far behind me. And he can fly. If I got too close to him, he would just immediately fly away. All right, so he's all flared out. He's all crooked. And then he runs again. All right. So we're going to head back over towards the nest. We're not going to disturb her again. And I want to see if anyone has any questions. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'm going to tell people this is not something that you should do. Do not approach the birds. Normally, I don't even follow them. When they do their call, I look away from the nest. I walk right by, I pretend like they're not there, and try and let them go about their business naturally. This is a KillDeer. We're looking at a KillDeer, which is in the plover family or plover family. Depends on how you pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. So I'm going to scroll back and see if we have any questions. Judith asked where the name comes from. Very good question. KillDeer is similar to the sound that they make. So people thought it sounded like a high-pitched KillDeer, KillDeer, and they called it a KillDeer. And the KillDeer are found, so I see you're from Ohio, the KillDeer are found all over North America, up into Canada, and down into Mexico. So all of the U.S., all of the continental U.S., and up into the lower parts of Canada and the upper parts of Mexico. So in the middle of the country, they're there year-round. In other parts of the country, they migrate. So they actually, here in Connecticut, they are migrators. I don't think that the name sounds like it's saying KillDeer. I've never heard it sound like KillDeer. And it just did. If you hear that trilling noise, that's it. Both of the pair are back over here by the nest now. All right, let's see. Do we have any other questions? Can you show a picture of a boy and a girl? They are the same color. These are monomorphic, which means the males and females are the same color. So if you saw one of them, I don't know if you guys can see them. She is, that just dropped down. So they're both sort of pretending like they're injured again. Even though I'm not over by the nest right now. Well, I guess I'm too close to the nest because they are pretending like they're injured. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. No, I don't see any questions. So I want to say that I am really enjoying doing these programs. I'm hoping that everyone else is enjoying them as well. You can continue to watch the programs Tuesday through Friday at 11 and 2. So this afternoon at 2 o'clock, I'll be doing a craft activity that has to do with nature that you can all do at home. We're going to keep these programs up. And when the building opens, I hope that you can come down and visit me because I would really like to meet all the people that I've been connecting with. So there's a bird pretending like she's injured over there. Actually, that could be the male. They switched spots and I can't tell which is which anymore. So later on this week, we will be doing a traveling program. We'll be going out to another park. So hopefully you can all tune in and watch that. And do we have any more questions? All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. Before I end today, I would like to say that we all need to work together. So I know there's lots of stuff going on in the world today, and some of you may not understand what it's all about. Just know that we are all in it together. We all need to work together, both for protecting the environment and protecting each other. We all need to stand up for one another. So keep that in mind as you go about your daily business. Reach out to your friends. Make sure you stay connected. Make sure that everybody around you knows how much you care about them. And we will all enjoy our lives a lot better if we think about other people as much as we think about ourselves. So, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day. We might get some thunder showers, but this is a beautiful day to be at Hammonasset today.